Hey
They
y'all. Oh,
might
you
as
don't
well
have to
see
join
them.
it. You don't have to join it. I'm just gonna have them come over here.
Okay.
Hey everybody. So I'm Chrissy, homeschool mom of three, of course. And it's May 1st, May Flowers. We're coming to y'all live. I'm super excited to be back going live. This not Zoom, this YouTube video is strictly about getting rid of mom guilt, working on self-care routines, and we have the expert Sarah here who's a true expert in self-care. And I'm not talking about that external thing that people be trying to do, like get their hair done, nails done, so that they could pretend that they feel good. I mean, that's the aspect of it, but we're going to work on the inside and the routines that you need to put in place in order for you to have a healthy routine. I'm going to let Sarah introduce herself and then we're going to get into it.
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah. I am a self-care kind of girl, as Chrissy said, and the self-care levels that I teach have a lot to do with your interpersonal communication. Often we see with self-care, we're so focused on the outside, how our hair looks, how our nails look, how our body looks. And while those things are important, we want to give attention to those things. We don't want to give attention to them to the point to where we become self-conscious, to the point to where we're neglecting our interpersonal self-care when it comes to our mind, our mood, our attitudes, our patterns, our behaviors. That's how you're going to know when people are really taking care of themselves. Anybody can look good from the outside. Anybody, we can dress it up, but you will know that a mom is a responsible mother by the patterns and behaviors that she has with their kids. You will know that a man is a responsible man by the patterns and behaviors that he has with himself and with others. And so today we're going to be talking about just 3 areas that are really easy to start building a self care practice, to start prioritizing your self care. Before we get into all of the deeper stuff, which may come in a different live, the areas we're going to touch on is going to be your routines, eating, and also spending time alone. And those 3 seem really simple, but the thing is if you're honest with yourself and you ask yourself, what are my habits in this area? What is my pattern in this area? A lot of you guys are lacking consistency, you're lacking boundaries. Some of you say, I don't have a minute to myself. There's no moment in the day. Well, there's no moment in the day, then that means either you're crowding your day, you're letting someone else crowd your day. And the only solution to that is you're going to have to start getting confident and setting boundaries for yourself in order to create space. So I've helped a lot of women in this area with personal development, starting with pageants all the way through women in recovery. And so I'm excited to be here to be able to speak to you moms so that you can start prioritizing your self care because you truly do deserve your love and your children do deserve to see an example of you showing yourself love. Because when you show that it's okay for you to take time to self care, they're going to see that it's okay for them to take time to do it as well. I can't hear you.
I said absolutely. When I started my self-care routine, I noticed that my daughter started picking it up. My son started picking up his face routine. Your kids are watching you. And a lot of times moms say, well, I feel guilty when I do for myself. And if you are a mom and you're one of those moms that feel guilty, comment in the chat. Like, why do you feel guilty? Where do you think it comes from? Because sometimes, like for me, I never had mom guilt before. I don't know what it feels like. The only time I have mom guilt is when I know that I'm overworking and I'm not taking time out to spend with my children. So in the past, when I was in survival mode, I would do a lot work, and barely have time to end the night perfectly like I wanted to with my children. That's my kind of mom guilt. But doing for myself, I never had any guilty pleasures coming from that. I mean, not guilty pleasures, but I never felt guilty about doing for myself. So if you, I know it's 4 of you here. I'll say hello. Where you from? How many children do you have? How can we support you here on this live? We're going to be live on YouTube a lot more often because again, this is what YouTube is for. It's designed for longer form content where we can help you guys live and get your questions answered. So we're going to start with the first one. Sarah said was routines, right?
Right. So before we go into routines, I did want to touch on something you said with guilt. Often women, especially, will say, I feel guilty. Time for myself. Why is there guilt there? Why? That's a question to ask yourself. And the thing is most people say, well, I feel guilty because I feel selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why do you feel selfish? I feel selfish because I'm taking time for me and I feel like I need to be doing something for them or all that stuff. Let me tell you, selfish people don't worry about doing things for other people. They don't worry about doing things for other people. So there's no way, you got to start changing the conversation. There's no way you can take on the label of I feel selfish. I'm selfish for taking time for me because you feel bad about not helping somebody else. Selfish people don't care about helping other people because they only care about helping themselves. So you got to get to the root of what the guilt is. Has that person had a negative reaction when you have said no? Has this situation maybe not led you to a certain end result that you thought it was going to lead to, so you don't want to try it again? Just be honest with yourself and getting down to whatever the root of the guilt is. So I just
Absolutely.
wanted to, how
I
do I
love
see the
it.
comment?
You don't
When,
see the comment? Someone said I can totally
okay,
relate to this. You see it?
yeah.
Okay. If
Okay,
you are on
so
here, make sure y'all tap the screen because that's how you can support us by sending it out to the algorithm to let more moms know that we are live. So it's 7 of you on here. We should definitely have at least seven likes. That is how you support a small creator, a small business without putting money their into their business. You can at least like or share or send this to a friend that might need it. And so we touched on mom guilt a lot of times. So now we're going to flow into routines. Reason why you guys are so jumbled with your day, thank you so much. The reason why you guys are so jumbled with your day is simply because you're not scheduling your time intentionally. I have 3 children. I cannot afford to not schedule my time unintentionally because I would miss out. I will lose like track of something. Like the kids will never be going to school, or my kids will never be in activities, or I'll never be able to show up for my business online, or it's just I have to put all this stuff down in a planner, or use the planner in your phone. So when you get out of routine, you get out of your purpose and the goals that you're moving towards as a mother. As a mom, you need goals for your children and yourself. You need routines for yourself. When you don't have a, like for me, my goal ultimately is to drop a few more pounds, right? In order for me to fit that into my mommy schedule of 3 and homeschooling 3, I need to make sure that I'm intentionally planning out days where I want to go walk and do 3 miles, where I can work out for 30 minutes. But if I'm having my life where I'm working, taking kids to school, doing this, doing that, cooking for the kids, picking up kids, dropping them off, getting them dressed, if I'm doing everything for my children and everything for everybody else, where you do you have time for you?
exactly, exactly. Where do you have time for you? As a parent, you are supposed to be a provider for your child, especially when they're at an age where they truly need a lot of your nurturing. There's a book called Boundaries that I absolutely love, and it's somewhere in here. I'll grab it. But they talk about hatching. When a child is a baby, you're going to build that attachment. Yes, every single thing that that child needs, you have to provide. But children eventually will come to an age of hatching, and that's when you have to let them grow. That's when you have to give them routines. That's when you have to allow them to come more into their personality. And so some of you have not allowed the hatching phase to begin, and your child is 15, 16, 17, and they haven't hatched. They're still in the nest. They're still in the nest. You're
Mm-hmm.
still sitting on top of those eggs. You know how chickens sit on eggs, so the eggs that you haven't let them hatch. And so know that in order for you to be a better mom, a better parent, you have to take care of yourself. So one of the things that parents have often told me, and I'm adopted, so I work with a lot of adopted parents and their kids, is that they can't create a routine. They've got so many different things going on. Routines aren't possible for them, and that's a lie. The reason why I say the idea that you can't create a routine for yourself is a lie is because currently, right now, today, you have a routine. You had a routine that you did yesterday, that you did the day before. Every moment that you wake up and your child is getting ready for school, you have a routine. The question to be honest with yourself about is that routine healthy or not? Is it chaotic or not? Does it need to be adjusted or not? So when it comes to creating your routines, take out all of the perfection. If you don't feel your routine is healthy, so I grew up in a home where they was yelling. It's rolling time. You got to get up. You got no. So that's a stressful morning routine. We need to find ways, or you need to start looking at ways at how can you wake up or get your kids up to where it's a little bit more gentler, to where your morning routine is flowing with more ease. What is that going to take? Honestly, the first thing I tell parents and even singles myself is a perfect morning routine starts with an even better evening routine. So those are the two routines that you want to work on. Look at your evening routine. How are you ending the night? Are you on the phone all night with your homegirl, jaw jacking about a dude? Are you yelling, screaming? What y'all doing late at night? What are you doing? Are you scrolling? What are you doing that's going to take away from that evening routine to rest, to relax, in order to be able to set yourself up for a better morning? So start with the evening routine first before getting into a really big morning routine.
Mhm.
Also, when it comes to routines, especially parents, you have to schedule a backup routine for the busy days. Things will happen. Kids will forget something. You might need to make something. You might need to run here, run. Things are going to happen, especially if you have multiple children. So have a backup routine for the busy days. Does anybody create a backup routine? I mean, look at businesses. Businesses have a backup. If you go to Target or Walmart and the lights go out, they got generators. Hospitals got generators just in case the lights go out.
Yeah,
So create
yeah.
a backup routine for yourself for the
I
busy days. That's going to take away that feeling guilty and judging yourself and feeling bad and everything like that.
Yeah, and I give myself some grace in my routine. Like when I wake, I know I have my morning routine.
I'm here. Give me 1 second. Uh-huh.
I have my morning routine, right? Do any of you have a routine? I mean, I know y'all have a routine, but what is your routine right now? What is it? Does it help you? Does it support you? Does it allow you to feel like you've gotten something done for the day, or do it just feel like you was running around on a hamster wheel or running a rat race? Okay. My morning routine consists of me washing my face. I mean, doing my morning routine, not meditating, but praying, journaling, reading for like 5 minutes. If I don't read for 5 minutes, I won't read for 5 minutes. It's no biggie. So that's that backup routine she's saying. If like let's just say I have two routines. In the morning, one of my routines might be a little longer because I might journal and read. The other one, I just might do a facial routine and go for a walk in the morning. That's it. I don't have to do it all the time. Thanks for recommending this live, Chrissy, on IG. I needed to hear this. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. So now my kids homeschool between 10 and 12. That's when they do their curriculum. That's when I'm helping them with their curriculum. I'm in my work mode from that time. From when I after I do my morning routine, I'm in work mode. Y'all notice I didn't say anything about breakfast. My kids and I, we do breakfast when we all wake up. Everybody's different. Everybody's super different. My oldest son, he wakes up a little earlier than my other son, but dinner we do at the same time. It's not one of those military. All my kids wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning and we all sit at the table and we all eat. And we're going to eat pancakes today and we're going to sit. That's not, a lot of that times what y'all seeing on social media, it's not realistic to you. My routine, if I show people day in the life of my routine, parents will be like, oh, that's considered a routine? Yes. And it's a productive one. My kids are not overwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. And then my outings happens between 1 to 5. Parks, whether we go to the park, the museums, grocery shopping. When I'm outside, we just finish everything while we're outside. We don't come home, go back out, come home, go back out. Oh my God, I forgot something. Come home. No. Between 1 and 5, if you need to go to the store, go to the store. You want to take the kids to the park, take the kids to the park. But we're home by 5:30 so that we can start dinner. Kids to go take their showers, then they have me time. We eat and just chill for the rest of the night. Cleanse, tone, moisturizer, spray. Oh, you talking about face routine? Yeah, my face routine depends. My night routine, like she said, my night routine is smooth. I don't do I have a face routine at night, but my face routine at night is not dramatic. It's very 1, 2, 3. Get in my bed, wind down, turn on a movie or some music, or I journal. It just depends. But I try to gradually take myself into a night routine because when I don't do that, I lose sleep. I'm not well rested. I'm overwhelmed. My brain is still moving in chaos. So, like she said, you have to have a good night routine in order to have a good morning routine.
Yeah, and a night routine. That's the thing. Y'all gotta get out of the idea of having these stressful self care routines. Self-care
Yeah.
should not be stressful. You should not be worried about, oh my God, I didn't do this, I forgot this. Real self-care, textbook self-care on Maslow's laws of needs is your basic hygiene. It's your basic hygiene. It's taking a shower, it's brushing your teeth, it's combing your hair. It's a basic hygiene. All of these extra things that you see people doing, going to the nail salon, getting a bust down, those are self maintenance routines. You got to learn a difference. You
Mm.
can maintain yourself at home. However, depending on your financial situation, maybe a special celebration, maybe your self maintenance routine is going to be handled by somebody else. It just all depends. But to sit and say, I can't self care, I don't have the time. Some of you just need to get in a good habit of taking a shower, brushing your teeth, washing your face, going to bed, flossing your teeth, going to bed. Like, that's really it. Getting sleep. That's
Stop
literally
letting
self
people
care.
stop letting your friends keep you on the phone too long and go to bed and get off and have some alone time. Like our routines are only disrupted because we don't have boundaries in time management and we don't have boundaries with people.
And sometimes the boundaries are on us. We often hear about boundaries with other people, setting boundaries with other people, but sometimes it's harder to set a boundary with another person, which is why you have got to set boundaries with yourself. Self boundaries are a real thing. When you meet a stranger, that stranger don't know your schedule. They don't know your routines. They don't know what makes you uncomfortable. So you have to be able to have enough self awareness to say, hey, here's what my own self boundary is. That doesn't mean you tell everybody, but your self boundary might be like, I'm not going to overshare this. I'm not going to bring a man around my kids until after I've dated him a certain amount of time. I'm not going to da 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 da. I'm going to make sure my phone on do not disturb at 9 o'clock. I tell people, you ain't going to reach me before 10 a.m. Some people, it depends on who they are. I might talk to them before 10, but the thing is if people think that they can reach you anytime, you're no longer really valuable to them. That's a whole nother conversation, but it's true. Like, you have to safeguard your time. And especially if you are a mother, a single mother at that, you have to safeguard your time. So if you, like, I had to tell a dude, because he's like, why you act like can't nobody call you before this time? I said, if I was a parent and I told you, hey, I'm getting my kids ready for school in the morning, you would respect it. You would feel like I had more of a reason. I said, but my reason is because I pray in the morning. I got to do things so that I can maintain to be a happy person. So if I'm taking care of myself in the morning, why is it that you feel that you need access to that time? But if I was a parent or I had something that you felt was reasonable, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't slide on my boundaries with that. But again, having looking at yourself and saying, hey, where do I cross my own boundaries? Some of y'all cross your own boundaries very easy depending on the person, the situation, or the place. I think what Chris, you gonna read them something and then we'll get on to the eating. Can't hear you. Why is it hard?
Set Boundaries, Find Peace, A Guide to Reclaiming Yourself by Nidra Twab, right? And she states, I'm just going to read the part, common feelings when we don't set boundaries. When you say yes, but you want to say no, you feel something is off in your body. When you allow people to take advantage of you, you feel something in your body that isn't right. When you give to others, you feel it in your body when you just give to others, like just abruptly or just with no boundaries, just consistently giving and giving. So if you learn to pay attention to your body, it will tell you when it's time to set a boundary. See, a lot of us, we ignore that feeling because we're told we're dramatic or you're making it up. Even when it comes out to your kids, if your kids come to you and say, mommy, can I go to the park with my friend, can you take me to the park, can you take me to the park, and you don't feel like taking your child to the park, guess what, you don't have to. If your body is telling you rest, lay it down. You don't need to take her today.
I'm here. I was trying to find my boundary book, y'all. I thought it was in.
So this book is really good when it comes to setting boundaries. You can pretty much take it to any chapter. This is how you This is how you do the work of setting boundaries, right? So, like self care, she talks about self care. People will love to tell you it's selfish. You're supposed to have a selfish season. You're supposed to go into self and become self aware. One thing a narcissist taught me was if it's not going to serve me, I'm not doing it. See, we look at narcissists the opposite. Oh, they're selfish, they're this, but they don't do anything they don't want to do. Y'all notice that? You cannot get a narcissist to do anything that they don't want to do. So one thing I learned about it was like, oh, they really care about themselves. Selfish is when you're taking and knowing that that person cannot afford to give you what you're asking for. That's selfish. Taking things from people that you know they do not have the capacity to give you. Selfish. You're not selfish when you're pouring into yourself. So as a mother, you're so busy running around for your children, but you're never running around for yourself. Not even running around. You're not taking care of yourself. That's actually selfish because you not taking care of yourself eventually will do your children harm because you're going to be yelling at them, snapping at them, getting annoyed, yelling at everybody. You're not going to be your full 100% healthy, whole, grounded self because guess what you're doing? You're so busy overly giving, people pleasing, not setting boundaries, not realizing that you're actually showing your children that you don't matter. So when they grow up, they're going to think, oh, all I have to do is overgive and care about people and not care about myself. Burnout, burnout, burnout. That's what we're doing, creating burnout, burnout, burnout. So if you're not taking care of yourself, stop listening to these moms on social media that say, my kids come before me. That is delusional. I guarantee you their kids is lacking something because she's lacking something: self care, self acceptance. So when you get out of your routine, baby, listen, every mom should
Sorry
have a
about that.
planner. Every mom should be sitting down looking at their planner every week. Every mom should be intentionally setting a tone for their week, their children. You know your kids go to school from 8 to 5. You work from 8 to 5. Okay. What are you doing to delegate some of the things you don't have time for? How are you going to buy back your time? Self care. Self care. I hired a
Yeah.
housekeeper one time. Baby, the amount of time that I bought back from not having to clean up my home. But then you got people on social media who want to tell you that housekeeping is lazy. Hiring a housekeeper is lazy. First of all, it's a skill for everybody out there. Why do I have to do it when there's somebody I can hire to do it? Stop letting people set y'all up to feel like y'all have to run your whole entire home solo without no routine, no intentions, not delegating things that you can buy back your time on. If you work 40 hours a week, there's no way I'm coming home and cleaning up my home every single day. When there's a company out there who will wash your clothes, put them up, come clean your house, there's a company out there that will do that. You can hire a chef once a month just to see what it's like not to have to cook and clean up behind yourself. These are real self
Mhm.
cares that people don't tell y'all about. See, people think self care is just going to the girl. You can go get your nails done all day long, but when you walk in your house and your house don't look or smell how you want it, because now you got to take that whole self care day and clean your kitchen and your room and your bed. Now the whole day then got screwed up because you like, oh, I'm tired. Every time I go self care, I got to come home and I got to clean. When really you could have
Yep.
went and got your nails done, hired a housekeeper, came home house clean. Telling y'all, game changer. I used to go get my nails done while the housekeepers was cleaning up the house and come home and be like, oh, and I'm about to hire them back again because I ain't doing it. What takes
It's
them
about
to go ahead?
yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It's the whole point of a routine that you want. And depending on your situation, having someone who can come in and help you is great. But if you can't do that, then that's when you have to start making your day-to-day routines a part of your priorities little bit by little bit, even if it's just 10 minutes. It's not about like you have to understand cleaning's never going to be done, so how do we manage it? Some things will never be done, so it's just looking at how will you manage your home. Managing your home starts with managing yourself. The next thing that we're talking about though is eating. Moms, I get it. You done had a baby. A lot of y'all feel like you fat. You feel like I need to look good. You looking at all these people online and they're telling you go ghost for 6 months, come back, pop out. Everybody gonna envy you and love you. But really, true self care is about eating a nutritious blend of food daily. It's not about starving yourself. It's not about um having this idea of getting revenge on somebody, babies, daddies, or whoever, so that you look better and they're going to treat you better. No, it's knowing that your eating habits and all of those things are all a part of what is going to help you help your kids. Learn how to read nutrition labels. We talked about routines. Chrissy mentioned planners and stuff. Some of you may benefit from meal planning. Some of you may not benefit from meal planning. Some of you may benefit from just having more healthier options that you can grab and go. The thing is that I had to learn in my own self care journey, because eating healthy and nutritious is self care, is that if I feel good, then I do good. When I feel better, I do better. So just like with your evening routines, if what you're doing the night before determines how you feel tomorrow, it's the same thing with what you eat. If I sit up here and I load up on things that have a lot of sugar, and right now there's a lot of sugar in a lot of foods that we think are healthy. You trying to lose weight, you're trying to have a healthier lifestyle, you're trying to get your cholesterol and all that stuff, and you're picking foods because you don't know how to read the label, that actually are still hurting your heart health and your brain health. So you need to make nutrition and all of that more than just being about the physical aspect. Because if you're loading up on a lot of sugar, you can't think. You don't think better. If you're loading your kids up on a bunch of sugar, soda pop, snacks, chips, they can't think. They got to go to school. They've got to function. Some of you guys, yourself, or even your children may have certain issues such as being neurodivergent, ADHD, autistic, whatever. And food affects those things. Food affects your mood. That's why we have emotional eating. We all them in there. We like, listen, I'm mad. I'm gonna eat this snack. Okay, like emotional eating. I myself, when I started managing my stress levels, when I started managing just, acknowledging and managing my emotions and stuff, I literally shed 30 pounds. Was it fast? No, it was not. It was not fast. It was slow over time. But the goal was that, hey, I need to lose weight so that I can, I don't know, pop out. I've always just been a confident person, plus size, but I was tired of feeling like everybody was controlling my day, tired of feeling like everybody was controlling my mood, tired of walking into my house and feeling like, dang, all I do is spend all day cleaning, or this, trying to get this one thing done and everything else falls by the side. So I had to take control of my day. And one of the ways that I did it was I started utilizing my journal a whole lot more. I started managing my stress. The thing is stress affects your sleep. When you're stressed out over a man, it affects your cortisol levels. Y'all don't understand, stress will kill you. So it doesn't matter how healthy you're eating. If you're stressed out, you're going to have inflammation, you're going to have chronic pain, you're going to have chronic frustration. So managing your stress and doing what you can to uh, help your energy levels with eating better, it's going to help you so much in building a healthy home. Chrissy, I know you had some things that you've been doing with yourself in this area. Like, what are some tips you think you have for them?
Definitely. So I've never brought a lot of sweets in my home anyway as a kid, but I will tell you guys, and I'm gonna go deeper for anybody that watches this replay. When I had my first son, I was already a healthy eater, but what you eat, you groom your children while they're in the womb. Then when they're babies, you're grooming them, right? My middle son eats whatever vegetables I give him because when he was a baby, he had everything organic and I cooked everything from scratch. My daughter, she don't really eat meat like that. So my kids naturally have little good healthy habits, but when I my issue was I wasn't eating enough. I'll eat like once a day and forget to eat, but it was making me tired. It was making me exhausted because I wasn't eating well balanced breakfast meals, lunch, dinner, snacks in between. Drinking water ain't never been a problem for me or my children. We go through cases of water, but this is something I live by. So I don't have to force my kids to eat healthy because they see me do it. They see what I eat. If I cook it, they know, this is something to try. My kids that eat salmon, they'll eat bell peppers, baked bell peppers. We just started meatless spaghetti. They loved it. It was sweet to them. The peppers and all that was delicious to them. Um, and you see the switch in the energy. My kids wasn't as hungry when we put peppers and all peppers, squash, zucchini, all of that went inside of our spaghetti. They were a lot more fuller than when I didn't put that stuff in there and it was just meat and sauce. But when I seasoned it and gave them all the healthy nutrition that they need, they were full. My oldest son didn't come back. So we think that we have to put all this meat and all this. Sometimes the vegetables ain't got no taste. Y'all do know that. It's based off the seasoning you put on it. So when I learned that, I didn't know that. I thought, well, bell peppers do have like a little taste, but zucchini, I tried spaghetti squash. It was based off the seasoning that I put on it will determine the taste. I never knew that because my parents didn't teach me nothing about vegetables and stuff like that. My parents ate like neck bones, greens, cabbage, collard greens, pinto beans, vegetable soup. Like my mom them did eat that, but they never taught us about veggies. So your eating habits, your skin, your hair, your nails. It impacts all of that. Your mental, how you respond, how well you sleep. You not drinking healthy amount of waters every day. I drink at least 64 ounces or more of water every day, and it comes easy to me. I cannot live without water. My kids know that they have to hydrate, so I'll buy some hydrating packages so we can hydrate and put electrolytes in our bodies because water doesn't hydrate you, but electrolytes does. So that's stuff that you learn. If y'all don't know anything about IVs, we talk about healthy. We talk about health, okay? If you know that you struggle with vitamin D, y'all can go and get IVs put in your arm and it goes straight to your bloodstream. You can go and get a multivitamin put in your arm. You can go get a hydration IV. They have it now in the world where you don't have to take pills every single day. You can just go get an IV and make sure your body is well taken care of when it comes to what goes into you. So eating is very, very important, and you need to put it as a part of your routine. Let me tell you something. It sounds boring, but let me tell y'all something. It's so much to do. When you're planning, it's so much to do. When you're in your routine, it's a lot to do. When you're in your eating habits, it's a lot to focus on. It's a lot to pay attention to. It's intentional. So it allows you to be productive, but you feel good. It's some days Sarah and I might wake up and not feel like doing something. Of course, we're ADHD. And it's okay. Give yourself some grace. Okay. We will go to sleep. We will we will go night night. Okay. I learned not to force myself to do well. ADHD people don't force ourselves to do nothing. So let's just be clear on that. We do when we feel like it, but we're still in routine. I have planners that help me stay focused. I think you muted, Sarah.
My bad. I was gonna say what it is I make my routine so easy that I'll just do it. I don't wait for the motivation. As a neurodivergent, we don't often feel motivated. Most of the time, we're not motivated at all. Might take something outside of us, someone. So you have to make your routine so easy enough that you'll do it. But the problem with making it so easy is that it's also going to be easy not to do it. So whenever I know I've gotten away from myself, and you can tell when you've gotten away from yourself. Number one way to tell when you've gotten away from yourself, number one, is going to be how you look on the outside. That's why people put so much emphasis on your physical appearance for self care. It's the number one way to know if there's something wrong. You're gaining weight, you're not dressing like you used to, you're not taking care of yourself. But the thing is whenever I know I need to bounce back because I've gotten away from myself, I do 10-minute mindset, 10-minute movement, 10 p.m. bedtime. Okay, bedtime. 10 p.m. bedtime. Those are the three things. And you might think, oh, that's 10 minutes. That's stupid. No, let me tell you, if you ever dealt with depression, anxiety, despair, grief, and loss, 10 minutes is a long time. That's a problem. Y'all see the girls doing an hour, 2 hours, sister super save them. So you think 10 minutes is nothing, but 10 minutes over time is everything. And I have been paralyzed from the waist down, told I'll never walk again. I went on bed rest. I popped up out that bed for almost a year or so. Body was still looking right. Didn't gain none of the weight that I had lost. I should have lost 30 pounds, but I did it with the 10-minute movement, 10-minute mindset, 10 p.m. bedtime, because sleep is important. Sleep washes your brain. The only way your brain washes itself is through sleep. The only way the brain actually gets nutrients is through fat. If you're not eating healthy fats, you're not feeding your brain. Brain health is so important. This is a mindset thing. Self-care is a mindset. You got to get yourself this self-care mindset. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. We focus on progress, not perfection. And y'all are so used to seeing perfection. Oh, no days off. Every day I'm in the gym, rain or
What happened
shine.
to her
Oh,
message?
who that girl?
Yeah, it
Maybe she
disappeared.
deleted it. I was trying to read it, but I was talking too much. I couldn't do both. My bad. Repost your message if you
Oh
can. What happened?
no. It said retracted. Did I do that?
I don't know. Ask her if she's still on her to
I
repost it. But
saw
yeah,
what
so
she said, but I was trying to. So she said she has a 1 year old. Trying to have a routine with a 1 year old um is tiring. How does she stick to her routine? So your 1 year old also requires routine, or they're going to be tiring. So what are your schedules looking like? You don't have to retype it, pretty TT. You could just put like, run us down what your schedule look like on a regular day for your child. Like, what is a normal day when y'all wake up? What time do you wake up? How often do you go to the park? How long do you go to the park? Like, and then when it comes to eating, when he's eating, why aren't you eating? He's 1 years old, so when he's eating, you should be eating. He should never not see you not eat. He should have breakfast. You should be having breakfast, especially with a 1 year old. He should be having lunch. You should be having lunch. When he get a snack, you have a snack. If you only have one child, you need to. I would recommend meal prepping. Going to get you a container and him a container. Make sure his snacks is in his containers. Make sure you have your meal ready for the day, so you can cut back your time on how much you're probably spending with making his food while he's hungry. See, your toddler food should already be ready, so that when they're hungry, you're not, all you're doing is popping in the microwave and feeding them. But if you're getting food ready while he's hungry and he's fussing, yeah, you're pretty much probably don't have a routine. So I would have to know what you do on a day-to-day basis in order to support you. But when I had toddlers, I had a very tight routine because toddlers are a lot. Well, he's still a baby. Babies are a lot. They require a lot of attention. They require a lot of play. They require food so they can grow. Doctor's appointments you're at all the time. Um, so as a mom, pouring back into yourself, I will go on, like she said, I will go on nature walks. I would just go. I like outside though. I like nature, so I'll go outside, put my music in my ears to rebalance myself. I also was married at the time. I don't know if you're married, but I had a husband, so I wasn't doing motherhood by myself. So y'all, so that stuff is important. I don't know if she's still here, but wait, if I took her message off, is it gonna let her comment? Pretty
I
T,
don't
can
know.
you comment so we can see? I mean, I don't know if she's commenting. Oh, I hope I
One thing
am.
I did want to add to that is just understanding that moms, when you have a child, whether it's one, two, three, or five, whatever, it's no you're no like you're no longer single. This is what I teach my women in recovery here with kids. You're no longer single. Yes, you want to have a routine in a direction for yourself, and then of course you have your kids. Your schedule is going to be constant readjustment.
Mm,
Constant readjustment. Because especially if you have a 1 year old or something, or an infant baby, yeah, we would love to go to bed at 10 o'clock, but what if they wake up at 12? What if they wake up at 2? What if they da 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 da? That's why I say you have to have a backup plan for the backup plan, because you have to know what direction does my day go? That if maybe I've been up all night with the child screaming and crying, okay, I didn't go to bed until 9 o'clock, but I know they nap time is going to be at 12. So then that's when I'm going to get my Z's is at 12. When they're napping, I'm napping. You're going to have to figure out how to adjust in creative ways, especially when it comes to sleep, or like she's even saying with the food, the meal prepping. You don't have to prep every single meal. You can maybe only do breakfast. Maybe the mornings are tougher for you. Or maybe you just want to do lunch. Lunch is tougher. Dinner. Stop putting so much pressure on you to do every single thing. If you can delegate tasks, which is something that we're going to talk about in time alone, asking for help, definitely do that. But just know this week your schedule may be one way, next week it may be another way. It's being able to adjust and understand that you're going to have to adjust, but know that you have that main foundation schedule that's going to give you your day, your week, some direction. Um, so
I
yeah,
hope I didn't do something wrong. I feel like I did something wrong, like kicked her off or something. I don't know what I did wrong. I feel bad. I hope she was still able to hear us and receive what we said. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate. We got one more thing we're gonna go over, but if you have questions over what we went over so far, you definitely can drop your questions in the chat. I won't touch nothing this time.
yes, but yeah, just remembering moms that nutrition, healthy nutrition, and that doesn't mean you got to rush out and buy everything organic. Because again, we don't know everybody's grocery bill, but just asking yourself, what is it that I can add to my meals, to my children's meals? What is it that I can add to my day that is going to make this much better for me? It's about adding. And when you add stuff, eventually you're going to start subtracting things naturally when you start doing things that are better for you as part of your self-care routine. So the last one was spending time by yourself, carving out some me time. Um, it's important. You gotta get a planner. Matter of fact, with my planner, you gotta get a planner. If you have a planner, you need to get a notebook. You don't want to do it on your notebook. You get your cell phone. If you want to do it on your cell phone, you can do it on a piece of paper, put it on the fridge, get you a dry erase. The thing is, you have options. You have time and you have options. You got to schedule your me time. Number one way to schedule me time as a mom, especially if you do not have a spouse, is looking at your support system, looking at your family and friends who can support you, whether it's 30 minutes, an hour. It may not be a whole day, it may not be a whole week, a whole month. Who can support you? You may not have family and friends who are supportive, so that means you're going to have to be proactive to get out there and find out what resources are in your community. I know where I live in Florida, there is a service that helps busy moms, and there's another one that helps foster parents where the person comes and sits. They'll even go on a date with you. If you got a date, you don't want to leave your infant with them, they will just be there sitting in the restaurant with your child. So look up resources in your community that help moms babysit. So that way you can have some me time, especially if you feel like you're somebody who you don't have a community, a current community right now that will help you. The thing is that I have realized with moms is you feel that because we know you have kids, that we should automatically understand that you need help. And we should automatically understand that even if we got something else to do, like what you have is more important. What I'm trying to say is you can't force nobody to watch your child, keep your child, be the parents to that child. Like it's not everybody's fault if they say, I'm not able to babysit your kid. Um, don't get me wrong. I know there's some deadbeat family members, deadbeat parents, but I'm really emphasizing this on the fact of a lot of y'all will be told, your baby's daddy or whoever should be helping you. We know what he should be doing, but he's not. So if he's not doing it, you're hurting yourself trying to force it. That's really where I'm going with this. And it's something that I recently had to experience or have been experiencing with certain family members of mine. And again, also with where I work with these women, is you'll spend a week pissed off, mad, and upset because the father of your child isn't doing what he needs to do to step up to help the child, that you've completely ignored all your other resources. You've disturbed your own peace, and now you're keeping yourself stuck. That's really what I'm trying to say. So if you say to somebody, "Hey, I'm just having a day. Can you watch the kid for an hour?" and they say no, just accept they know. Accept they know. Let's figure out what it is that we can do, because you're going to only hurt yourself if you try to harbor on that thing. And like Chrissy said, there's also ways to take time for you by, okay, nobody's gonna watch the baby, but what I can do is I could maybe go to the park. We could go on a nature walk. That's still being able to do your thing and also, tend to the child. Um and again, asking for help. Some of you can't afford to pay for help, which is okay. I wish I could pay for somebody to come up here and take care of me all day. But I can't. So little by little, dishes need to be done, but maybe we just need to do dishes for 10 minutes and then the other 20 minutes because we got a 30-minute space in our day going to be spent working on me, journaling, praying, reading music, whatever it is. Be creative. It's all about discovering routines that work for you. For you, we can give you suggestions, ideas. We can tell you what we did, but the thing is self care, depending on the situation, will require a different type of self-care. Depending on the season, will require a different type of self-care. This may be the season where you have to adjust and pivot with your little ones still around you, or you may have a season coming up where the little one's not around you, and instead of staying in that mommy mindset of feeling like, no, I need to have my kid here even though they're gone, take advantage of that space. How are you going to work on you? What are you going to do for you? Chris, do you have anything you want to add to that?
I definitely agree. I'm an advocate of a long time. I and if you got older kids, teach your kids self independence. My kids barely bother me. I have three children, 15, 11, and 8. And the amount of things that I see parents do and overextend themselves in is their kids. And it's like, so when do you have time to yourself? I can sit in my room all day. My kids might come in here maybe 2 or 3 times to ask me a few questions. Other than that, my kids are not needy. They don't need me to do everything for them. They know how to wash their own clothes. They know how to cook their own food. So if I just want a day where I'm not cooking, cleaning, doing nothing, my 3 children have chores. They know what they need to do. They know how to cook their own food. They know how to be self efficient. I am not. The older your kids get, you should be pulling back, but being more engaged. And what I mean by pulling back, pull back on telling them what to do all the time because you should have taught them what they need to be doing. Because as they got older, I mean, once they was younger, you were giving them chores and giving them certain small responsibilities, right? My 15-year-old just went to the grocery store. He wanted to go on his own. So I was like, okay, well, can you grab a few groceries? Sure. He went to the grocery store. That saved me a trip. I can have as much alone time. I go out to eat by myself. I go for walks by myself. It's a lot that I do alone and I enjoy it. And that's because my kids are older and I allow myself to transition with them as they transition as children. See, a lot of you won't transition with your kids. My baby, my baby, my baby. So you want to insert yourself inside things that you shouldn't have to. My daughter had to make new friends. She also had to problem solve and work through her own problems with her friends. I did not run outside every time that there was a problem. What that does is it help my daughter learn how to think on her own, problem solve on her own, where she doesn't need me 24/7. But when there is an emergency and when she cannot problem solve on her own, which takes away me from having to take away a lot of time from me to go out and do that. So alone time is refreshing. I know some people think it's weird. It's not. It's healthy for you. It's what you need is necessary. Damn, we've been on this live for 50 minutes. I definitely appreciate you guys for being on this live. It will be a replay available to you to watch it and go back and get whatever it is that you need. You're more than welcome to subscribe to Sarah's YouTube channel. Do they show your YouTube channel here? What's your YouTube channel?
Oh no. My YouTube is 24-hour diva. Yeah, I don't even see where I could even comment in the chat, but it's
I can't
24-hour
comment either.
diva. And so yeah, all things self-care. I'm gonna be doing a series with journaling for self-care. The thing about alone time is just being honest with yourself. A lot of y'all don't like spending time alone because you don't want to be alone with your own thoughts. And it feels awkward. Maybe you grew up in a big family. I know there were 6 of us in my family. So a lot of y'all, you'll start your day with noise and chaos because when you grew up, you had a lot of brothers and sisters, always noise in the house. So it's like I often tell people it's hard to have peace when you don't know what peace looks like. It's hard to have self love when you don't know what self love looks like. So what we're trying to encourage you all to do is be examples of those things. Start researching, start getting curious, start adjusting, start being more disciplined to be those types of examples so then your kids will have one. They can say, like me, I can say I have an example of spending time with yourself and self-caring because my mom, every morning I wake up, she would be in the left-hand corner of the living room in her chair with her tea, writing in her journal. And this is before we all woke up in the morning. She would have her toast and her egg. And what do I do? Practically almost every day. I got my journal, I got my tea, but I have that as an example. It's not that my mom never got away from herself because she did. She was a RN. All those late night shifts, my brothers and sisters and I home by ourselves. We had to figure out. I mean, it's a whole nother story. But the thing is that it's not going to be perfect. But don't try to make yourself be the perfect parent for your child. Children do need to see you struggle. They do need to see you try to reach a goal and then fall back on it and
Mhm.
then try again. And they need you to also communicate with them and
Somebody
yourself.
said
Mommy
they
going
grew up
through.
with 12 siblings.
Ooh,
That's chaos right there. Ooh, child.
that's a
I could
lot. But you
not.
know what? Hey, I was the youngest. I feel like when you're the youngest, you don't got to deal with all of them for too long. So let me know, were you the youngest or not? But
Oh, yeah. I can
yeah,
see that. You ain't got
I
to
was the
deal with a
youngest.
lot.
And my thing is, when my brother and sisters would go to school or when they would come back, I would cry. And my mom would be like, "Why are you crying?" But once I got older, I realized because this is finally, I got the house to myself. I'm in peace. I don't want to share with nobody. I'm going to do nothing. But that's neither here nor there. But yes, like parents, you're not going to be perfect. Some of you did not have that Netflix movie type situation where you just had this plan of having a kid and everything. Life is going to throw you plot twists, and baby, you got to throw one right back. You've got to fight right back. You got to believe that things are working for your good. You got to believe that you are building a better, more resilient version of yourself, and do that. Being better, being resilient also means trying again. Trying again. Sometimes you have to make a mistake. You have to make a decision that wasn't a good decision. So hey, now I got to turn around and make a better decision. Whether it comes to the routine that you're doing, what you're eating, spending time with yourself, like it's okay. Life is literally all about coasting and adjusting,
Hmm.
coasting and adjusting. Like that's literally what it's about. But with these three things, just beginning to think on how you can have a better routine for yourself and your kids, nutrition, eating more nutritiously, spending time by yourself, that's going to start setting your self-care in the right direction. And then you can add in all of the other aspects. So
Hmm.
I'm glad that y'all joined us today. This was really fun. It's my first YouTube live, y'all. I know it.
You know what I hate? That you can't save it on your page.
Ow. Oh, you were the fourth born. We're all, oh, and they were all homeschooled. Okay, I'm not as right. Well, it's okay because we'll do another live.
Yeah.
I'll do a live on my page and then we'll
Hmm.
figure it out. But y'all have been great. Does anybody have any questions? Anything that you're wanting to have any clarification on that we talked about,
When it comes to your self care routine.
or
If
anything that you
not,
want?
if you watch this replay, make sure you comment. Let us know. If you have any questions, I do come back to my comments and read them and respond to them. If I have an answer for you, if I don't, I'll find one. So if you're watching the replay, we definitely appreciate you for actually watching the video all the way through, because that's genuinely how you can support the video and the platform is by watching, engaging, liking, sharing, commenting, letting us know, giving us feedback. That is how you support a creator, is by doing that. So
Mhm.
we definitely appreciate you guys for being here, especially the ones who stayed the whole time. That was pretty dope.
Yes.
We're gonna end it, and we will see y'all on the next live.
Oh, I did want to say, I also, if you're trying to work on your routines, you need ideas to spend time alone with yourself, I do have a digital journal. There's a link in my bio. It's a digital journal. In the journal, there's a 5-minute worksheet. So we have a period diary in there. We have a prayer journal. We They're all in one file.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that can help get you started on your self-care journey. And also I have a self-love workbook that's going to hit on some of the deeper levels of limiting beliefs, prioritizing your self-care, embracing your imperfections. So if you're serious about wanting to self-care as a busy mom, wanting to be able to, again, have a build a better, more resilient version of yourself, I would definitely start with either of those. But number one, I would more than likely start with the journal. The journal will be your best bet
Mm-hmm.
to start with.
She
So you
said
can
it all
brainstorm.
makes sense. You guys did so well at explaining it. Thank you. We tried to make sure we break it
Yes,
down.
yes.
We love it. Brianna's been here. Thank you so much. Y'all go follow
Thank
24
you.
Hour Diva. Get the journal, get the planner, get what you need. It's 24 Hour Diva. It's all spelled 24 hour and then Diva. So go ahead and
Yeah.
I
HOUR. And it's the same
subscribe.
on Instagram. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
subscribe,
yeah.
Instagram, subscribe on YouTube because I'm be doing lives and journal sessions and everything else. Because next time we come back, though, we're going to talk about boundaries, when to say yes,
Yes.
say no, and take control of your life. All
Period. Okay. You guys have an
right,
amazing night. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
bye.